Hello everybody, it's Tim here again for another movie review, this time for Blood and Honey Part 2. And if I look a little sweaty or kind of killed out, it's because it is hot as fuck. But, yeah, for Blood and Honey 2, actually like this one. I didn't love it. It's not really a good movie. It's definitely not a great movie. It's a decent flick for what it is. I would give this a 2.5 out of 4. It's easily an improvement over Part 1, which was just trash. Not like the worst movie I've ever seen or anything like some other people talked about it. But it was bad. Just a shitty slasher. This one's improved because it has better special effects and it just has more going on, is just what makes it better. The budget is obviously a little higher here since the first one did well. This is a decent film. I liked it. I'd give it like a weak recommend. It is pretty much just a slasher film. It's still not perfect. They make it like the first movie was just a movie that was based on like the real incident or whatever that happened, and Christopher Robin is the only survivor of the 100 Acre Woods massacre or whatever, and he's in Ashtown or whatever it's called, his local town. And of course, they think that he's actually the one that killed people. Most of the people do, except for some random hunters who believe him, who go into the woods hunting for poo and everything. And of course, they all get killed except for one dude who survives with a mangled face. They managed to like blow Piglet's head off. I was surprised they killed Piglet off so early, but I think they killed Piglet in Part 1 as well. Then they just bring him back here, but whatever. And then they bring Al in here, and Tigger is in here as well. And it seems like they kind of hype Tigger up through most of the movie. And then when he shows up at the end and takes some people out, it is kind of vicious. But then he just like gets shot by Christopher Robin and just kind of like wanders off. And I guess he goes off and dies. It's just, I don't know. He just seemed underwhelming. And then Al is like the mastermind behind everything. He keeps trying to encourage Pooh, just go into town and massacre everybody or whatever. And you get this big killing scene where they take out like all these chicks or whatever. And it is some good gore. It is. Some of the like cinematography every now and then still looks pretty low budget, and still, even though this movie don't look too bad, it still does look low budget, which it doesn't really need a high budget. Something like this doesn't. But every now and then, some of the cinematography looks bad, even for a low budget film. Um, you got a scene where like this kid's like father or whatever is out hunting with him and all that, and the dad gets like taken away, and then the kid just like runs behind a tree. He gets taken away by Al to be killed, and the kid like runs behind a tree. And I think that's like the last you ever see of him. I was like, well, what the hell happened to that kid? I guess he just got away. It's like, well, what? They were like bird watching. And then yeah, you get the sequence where they kill a bunch of chicks or whatever, and Pooh like breaks this chick's arms and like man her legs or whatever in like multiple different places and puts her head down the bear trap. Okay, not too bad. A little bit of CGI blood there. That's what I didn't like about the movies. You got when the practical effects are there, they're good, but then you get like this CGI blood thrown in, which takes me out of it each time it showed up. You got Christopher Robin's parents in here. Christopher Robin, in terms of his character, is like totally different in this. It's a much younger looking guy. And he's got like a young like little sister or whatever. His parents eventually get killed by Pooh Bear. And you also find out that like the Pooh Bear and his clan or whatever were created by this scientist who was like kidnapping children, and Pooh is actually like Christopher Robin's long lost twin brother that was kidnapped. You don't really need that. I like the idea though, the joke of it or the humor of it, just the silliness of the idea that they are like kids who are like mutated by scientists. That shit is kind of funny. But the idea that they're trying to like link it directly to Christopher Robin, that Pooh is like his actual brother, that's too much. And that's the other problem here, is they're still taking themselves too seriously. They still try to have like these dramatic moments and all that with Christopher Robin and everything, and it's like, this is not working. And the actor who plays Christopher Robin isn't too bad. Like, he's fine. I think well, he gets more to do than the dude from the first movie. I think I preferred the guy from the first movie's more intensity or whatever as Christopher Robin, but he had more intensity because through 90% of that movie he was just getting the shit beat out of him. Here, it's just Christopher Robin trying to get his life back together and to deal with what happened in the first movie. And it's mostly just like he's just kind of an average guy. The acting, like I said, is fine by him, but at the same time, whenever it goes to like his scenes and all that, like the movie just kind of drags, because it's like, why are we trying to have this drama in this? Like, I feel like the filmmakers still don't get like how to execute this idea properly. Like, you need to camp it up. This is a silly, stupid idea. You need to camp it up. It is schlock, and as a schlock slasher movie, which is what this really is, this one is decent because there's more kills, there's more going on, there's more action, and it's got more fun to it because of that. So it makes it more entertaining by default. But I still don't think the filmmakers understand how to execute this idea properly. It's a silly, stupid idea. The only way to really do this to the point where it would come off good is you got to camp it up. You got to make it just ludicrously stupid. You need to have like chicks running around like with their tits hanging out like every 5 seconds or whatever, and you need to have like over the top just pure Just pure practical gore kills, and don't have any CGI. That's one of the weaknesses of this, is whenever there's CGI blood in it, it just takes me out. Like Winnie the Pooh kills a bunch of people at a rave at the end. He throws a bear trap out on a chick's head and like rips her head off and then hits it with like a bat. But when he pulls her head off or whatever, there's CGI blood that like shoots out, and I'm like, like digital enhancement. I just don't like it. It just takes me out. It just looks too cartoony, and you can tell when it's the CGI's there mixed with the practical, because it just doesn't look good, because the CGI looks lower budget. It looks more cartoony. And then Christopher Robin takes out Pooh at the end after he like takes out Tigger and like hits him in the head with an axe. And the one thing that popped in my head when he hit him in the head with an axe was Christopher Robin going, "Silly old bear." He takes him out in the head with an axe, and of course they live happily ever after, pretty much. Like Christopher Robin gets his sister back, who was just randomly found. So it's like, okay, Pooh didn't kill his little sister, so whatever. So little sister just gets reunited. Christopher Robin and Christopher Robin's girlfriend, they're just like riding off at the end. They're all smiles. They're like, "Hey, it's over, whatever." Then there's like a scene in mid credits where Al is like resurrecting Piglet and Pooh and all of his friends or whatever, because he's using some kind of magic or something to like regenerate their heads or whatever. So you get the idea. Oh, there's gonna be a third one. It's a stupid idea. This is a schlock horror film, a schlock slasher, which is what it really is. This is not really like anything to do with Winnie the Pooh. This is just a schlock slasher movie, just like the first one that just happens to involve Winnie the Pooh characters. But they're still trying too hard to add like human drama and stuff like that and those kind of elements in these films. They need to just camp it up and just make it stupid, absurdly stupid. Have fun with it. Don't try to take it seriously. They do have fun with it here more, so this makes this one more entertaining and a more enjoyable watch as a schlock slasher film. But they're still trying to take the human drama somewhat seriously, and it's not working. It's dull. It takes away from the fun vibe of a schlock film. When they do a third one, and they're going to, you need to just like make it completely camp. Just have like chicks running around with their tits hanging out, have Pooh like walking around, maybe even with a machine gun or something, like blasting chicks away or whatever. Camp it up, make it absurdly stupid but fun, and don't make it too long, because it needs to be short. Something like this, its lifespan, like in terms of like enjoyment, will wear out if the movie's over long, because it's a one-note joke. And so that's how you can easily improve this. But as far as this one goes, it is an improvement. This was decent. It is not a good movie. It is not even a good schlocky slasher movie, but it's a decent one. I liked it. I'd give it a weak recommend. Would I buy this? Probably not. But at the same time, I don't regret seeing it. It's easily an improvement over part one. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.